God really said, go forth and multiply, and some animals took it way too seriously. And trust me, what you're about to see will blow your mind. These creatures don't just mate, they put on a full show. In today's video, the weirdest animal mating rituals caught on camera, we're diving into nature's strangest love lives that'll leave you shocked, laughing, and maybe a little confused. So grab your popcorn because this is not your average animal documentary. Leopard's wild mating ritual. These wildcats don't stop. Leopards have insane energy when it comes to mating. They can do it every 15 minutes, non-stop, for a whole week. That means they might end up mating around 250 times in just 7 days. Their stamina is unbelievable, and they aren't loyal either. A single female leopard may mate with many males during her cycle, just to increase her chances of having cubs. But it's not as smooth as it sounds. The mating process is rough, especially for the female. The male has a barbed penis, which hurts the female when he pulls away. Sometimes she gets angry and swipes at him to protect herself. It's a painful and powerful ritual, but it's nature's way of keeping the species alive. Giraffe love secrets revealed. In the wild world of giraffes, love isn't easy. Only the toughest male giraffes get to mate, and they must search far and wide for a chance. Female giraffes can mate all year, but they're only ready every couple of weeks. Since they live in huge open areas, male giraffes often have to walk long distances to find the right female. When they do, they don't just rush in, they show their interest gently. The male might lick the female's tail, lay his head on her back, or nudge her softly with his ossicones, those little horn-like bumps on his head. If she accepts him, the male carefully climbs on her to mate. Once the courtship works, the real journey begins. The female stays pregnant for a very long time, almost 15 months. When the baby giraffe is born, it drops straight to the ground, snapping the cord and taking its first steps within hours. This little calf uses its spotted coat to blend in and stay safe from danger. It drinks its mother's milk for several months, but won't become fully independent until it reaches around 14 months of age. Kangaroo mating fights are wild. When a female kangaroo is ready to mate, things get intense. She gives off strong signals, like special scents, that tell the males she's fertile. Males start following her, sniffing her scent, and waiting for the perfect moment. If the female accepts one, he'll slowly move in and gently lick or scratch her to start bonding. This careful approach helps him avoid scaring her away, because mating is serious business in the kangaroo world. But the real drama starts when more males show up. The strongest males stay close to the female, guarding her from others. They fight fiercely with smaller rivals who try to sneak in. These battles aren't just quick fights, they can get brutal with powerful kicks and punches. Dominant males often focus on taking down weaker ones already guarding a female, all for the chance to pass on their genes. In the end, it's a wild and rough contest where only the toughest kangaroo wins the right to mate. Porcupine love is no joke. The way porcupines fall in love is weird and wild. It all starts with the male doing something strange. He sprays urine on the female to see if she's ready. If she's not in the mood, she shakes it off and walks away. But if she is ready, she rolls over and shows her belly, the only part without sharp quills. That's her way of saying, let's do this. The twist? She's only ready to mate for just 8 to 12 hours in the whole year, so the male has to act fast and stay super patient. But it's not easy from there. The male has to be very careful while mating because one wrong move and he could get poked by her painful quills. And it's not just one time, he has to keep doing it over and over until the female is satisfied. It's tiring, risky, and takes real skill. But this tough little love dance proves how smart and well-adapted porcupines are when it comes to surviving and making the next generation. Rhino love fights. When a female rhino is ready to find a mate, she doesn't stay quiet about it. She blows a loud whistle that echoes across the wild. But instead of rushing to her, the male rhinos often seem clueless. The female then chases them around, almost like saying, "Hey, I picked you." But that's just the beginning. When a male finally responds, things turn wild. The two rhinos go head to head, literally, in a fierce battle called Bluff and Bluster. Their horns crash together with such force that you'd think it's a life or death fight, and this dramatic showdown can go on for hours. Now here's where it gets serious. This isn't just a fight, it's a test of power and patience. Only the strongest male can handle it long enough to win. After all that smashing and pushing, if the female is impressed, mating finally happens. Quickly, but meaningfully. This whole wild ritual matters more than it seems. It's nature's way of making sure only the toughest, healthiest rhinos have babies, keeping the species strong for the future. Hippo's wild mating ritual? Things get wild when it's mating time for hippos. It all starts in the water, where everything turns chaotic and rough. The female doesn't just choose a mate quietly, the male has to sniff and even taste her urine to check if she's ready to mate. Female hippos usually become mature around 5 or 6 years old, though some start earlier. But the males? They're always ready, all year long. During the busy mating season, males fight hard to take control. They even mark their area by spraying pee and poop at the same time. Yes, it's their way of saying, "This spot is mine." Once a male takes over, the mating happens right there in the water. The male pushes the female underwater, and she must rise for air between the rough moments. After all the splashing settles, the female carries the baby inside her for about 8 months. When the calf is born, it weighs around 50 kg and enters the world in shallow water or on land. The mother then hides away with her baby for nearly 2 weeks, nursing it carefully. She even lies on her side to make it easier for the calf to feed. As the baby grows, she carries it on her back in deep water, keeping it safe from danger. And hippo moms don't mess around. They protect their babies from predators and even from other hippos. Since they only give birth every few years, the bond between mom and calf becomes super strong. By the time the baby reaches 1 year, it's ready to start becoming independent. Lion's painful mating secret. Lions don't just roar to show power. Their mating life is just as wild. When a male lion chooses a lioness, he doesn't stop at just once. In fact, he can mate up to 100 times in one single day. Yes, every few minutes. But here's what's even more surprising. The female needs these repeated sessions just to trigger pregnancy. It's not a calm, gentle act either. Lion mating is rough, fast, and intense, and that's how nature made it. But the real pain hits when the male pulls away. His body has sharp spines that hurt the female, causing her to growl in pain or even swipe at him. This painful reaction is a normal part of their mating cycle and actually helps her body prepare for pregnancy. It's a tiring and painful process for both of them, lasting for days without rest. But this is how the lion ensures his bloodline continues, proving strength, dominance, and the brutal beauty of the wild. Bonobos' peaceful way of bonding. Bonobos are not your ordinary apes. They live in a world where peace is made through love, not war. These smart creatures, also called pygmy chimpanzees, have a very open way of showing affection. Instead of fighting or showing anger, they often use mating to say hello, make peace, or settle arguments. Even when their babies are around, they don't shy away from these acts. Unlike most animals, bonobos even kiss with their tongues and face each other while mating, just like humans. In bonobo society, no one sticks to one partner. They mate with many others, which helps everyone get along better. When they find food, they sometimes celebrate by mating together. It keeps the mood calm and friendly, so no one fights over the meal. Female bonobos even use mating to join new groups and become accepted. One rare behavior is when females rub against each other to build trust and friendship. What may look wild to us is actually a secret to their peaceful world, where bonding is more important than power. Cheetah mating is a wild competition. In the wild world of cheetahs, love starts with a fight. When a female cheetah is ready to mate, she leaves a strong message through her urine. She picks certain spots to do this so nearby males know she's ready. But the moment they catch the scent, things get intense. Male cheetahs rush in, mark their own scents, and try to show who's boss. If more than one male shows up, a fierce battle begins. Only the strongest gets the chance to mate, but the story doesn't end there. The female might choose to mate with several males over a few days, and there's no fancy flirting. It's quick, it's intense, and it happens again and again over 2 to 3 days. But the real challenge begins after mating. When it's time to give birth, the female finds a secret, safe spot deep in the bushes. She gives birth to up to 8 tiny cubs, though 3 or 4 is more common. Born blind and weak, each cub weighs less than a can of soda. The mother does everything alone, feeding, hiding, and moving them often to protect them from danger. As the weeks pass, the cubs grow stronger. At 2 months, they try solid food. At 4 to 6 months, they practice hunting, but real success usually comes around 15 months. And finally, at about 20 months old, they're ready to leave their mother and start life on their own. Warthog's funny love ritual. The wild world of warthogs has one of the most entertaining love stories you'll ever hear. It all kicks off with a wild showdown. Male warthogs wrestle and fight like champions, trying to prove they're the strongest one in the crowd. But here's the twist. Winning the fight doesn't win the girl just yet. After all the pushing and shoving, the real challenge begins, impressing the female with charm and clever moves. The winner starts following the female around, clicking loudly like he's saying, "Pick me." But when she ignores him, he doesn't walk away. Nope. He gets even more playful, gently nipping her and circling her like a stubborn dancer. Sometimes it looks so funny you'd think he was putting on a comedy show. But in the end, his effort pays off. The female finally gives in, and the moment is short but full of energy. It's a wild mix of humor, strength, and pure determination. Warthog style. Wild battle for love in the treetops. In the deep forests of Madagascar, there lives a wild predator called the fossa. When it's time to mate, things get absolutely wild. The female fossa makes strange and loud sounds to call the males, but instead of peaceful courtship, the sound sets off a chaotic race. All the males come running to the bottom of the tree where the female is waiting above. And once they reach, the real madness begins. A fierce fight breaks out between them, right there on the ground. The males don't care about danger. They ignore the height of the tree, the bites of insects, and the pain from the battle. One by one, they knock each other out until only one is left standing. That male wins the right to climb up the tree and mate with the female. This wild fight can last for hours, showing how far these animals will go to prove they're the strongest. It's not just about mating, it's about power, pride, and survival. Zebra mating battle. During August and September, the wild plains turn into battlegrounds for zebras. This is their short breeding season, and male zebras go wild trying to win a female's heart. They scream, stomp, and even fight each other just to prove they're the strongest. If a female lifts her tail, that's her signal she's ready, and the chosen male wastes no time. But it's not that simple. Females might flatten their ears to show they're not interested, while males flash their teeth to show who's boss. It's a loud, dramatic, and dangerous love story in the wild. Different zebra types have different ways of mating. Plains and mountain zebras are more private, with one strong male keeping his group of females. But Grevy zebras, they take it to another level. The males compete so fiercely that they've even evolved bigger testes to win the race at a microscopic level. After mating, the female stays pregnant for almost a year. Once the baby zebra is born, it's running within an hour, already learning to survive. And just weeks later, the mother can be ready to mate again. Nature is intense, and in the zebra world, only the toughest bloodlines survive. A hyena's risky love life. Here's something really wild from the animal world. Among all animals, hyenas have one of the strangest and most dangerous ways of mating. What makes it so risky is the female's body. Unlike most animals, female hyenas have an organ that looks like a male's private part. It's actually a long, narrow clitoris called a pseudopenis. The male has to carefully insert his own part into this organ during mating. If he's not gentle or skilled enough, he could hurt the female or even end up injured or dead himself. This strange setup makes it extremely tough for hyenas to even mate successfully. But the real challenge doesn't stop at mating. Female hyenas also have to give birth through the same narrow passage. This often causes pain and danger for both the mother and her cubs. Scientists believe this odd organ may have evolved to give females more power in their groups, since female hyenas are the leaders in their clans. They're strong hunters, dominant, and tough as nails, but this powerful organ that helps with leadership also makes giving birth one of the most dangerous events in a hyena's life. Even with all these struggles, hyenas stay close-knit and social, often laughing and playing together like a tight family. Elephant loves secrets. It started as a calm day near a waterhole until things took a wild turn. A tourist was quietly watching elephants drink water when suddenly a loud trumpet echoed through the air. A massive male elephant was seen mating with a female right there in the open. Elephants don't just randomly fall in love. Their mating time is full of signals, scents, and powerful emotion. Female elephants release special smells in their pee and body when they're ready, and males can sniff this out using a trick called the Flyman response. He touches the scent with his trunk and tastes it in his mouth using a special organ. That's how he knows she's ready. All this happens especially in the rainy season when love is in the air. But it's not just sniff and mate, it's a full drama. Males go through a phase called muss, where they ooze liquid from their heads and their pee drips constantly. Their testosterone shoots up 60 times more than normal, making them aggressive and wild in search of a partner. They fight other males and show off by raising their trunks when they win. The females? They like the strongest ones. Males may even dance, pose, or twine trunks with a female like a gentle elephant hug. They talk using deep rumbles called infrasound, kind of like love songs only elephants can hear. And when the mating is done, the female carries the baby for 22 months, the longest pregnancy of any animal. When the baby is born, it's a huge celebration for the elephant family. Nature's love life is wild, right? If that shocked you, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more crazy animal stories. See you in the next one!